Good evening, Speed Gaming, and welcome to this presentation of the Super Metroid 2024 Mystery Tournament. I am JXB Adam, joined on tracking by the one and only Jestro Zooks. In the booth with me today is D-Web DJ. How's it going?
I am doing good, thank you. We have an exciting race here. This is the odd man out matchup in the 3-0 bracket. Nitro 3-0 so far in this tournament gets paired down in probably somewhat of an unfortunate manner. If you just go by seeding, this is the top seed overall, 2-1 Audraxys. She lost last week, but is still getting a 3-0 pairing, so this will be quite the interesting one. Obviously, as you would expect, two very, very good runners, and this should be an exciting race, hopefully.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to not only seeing this race, but seeing just what kind of a seed we're going to have, what the settings are going to be, and whether or not we'll have some suitless action tonight.
Yes, if you go by the ever faded URL, the race room is Salty Bowling, so there's a chance we're going to be seeing top rec shift. That's my call right now.
I like it. We all know the race room name is always the one, and no, Audra is not sandbagging. It turns out it's any given seed up here for any player. We are in full countdown with a starter charge.
That is correct. I do not know for sure what Nitro ran last week, but I do know that Audra's seed last week was full countdown. It also coincidentally had 4 majors in criteria. It did not have any E-tanks, one of the stories of that seed, but we'll see how the tenor of this one plays out. 4 is a bit of an interesting number. And yes, we also see the 20, the charge beam damage, signaling starter or starter plus charge beam. If our runners hold shot for longer than they might normally, you will see Samus start the charger beam, one of the dash features that can be on as part of this mystery tournament. Many settings are randomly selected for the seed. You have to discover them as you go, such as we talked about, item split, charge beam, map state, minor distribution, different items, boss modes. I think I might have covered all of them, but there's a lot, and it can be definitely interesting and fun to see how things work out.
Absolutely, it's one of the joys of the way this tournament has been set up, because their dash as a randomizer is set up to give our runners quite a few different options, and with the mystery settings, that just amplifies generally the number of paths that can be taken to complete the seed.
Yep, there are many different things that can happen to you. You have to be very able to adjust and adapt to anything that the seed can throw at you, whether it be vanilla map area, boss shuffle, boss shifted, boss surprise. We've seen a few of those every now and then, but we'll see how things go. We do not have any way to break any bomb blocks thus far. Just a couple of missiles, the morph ball, and an E-tank, which is exactly what you would find out here in vanilla. The E-tank and the morph ball happen to be switched, but we're gonna have to head back up and see what else we can get. Looks like we may be having some technical difficulties with my co-commentator Adam. Hopefully he can get things sorted out, but until then, we do have pretty closely synced runners. I would say that Nitro, newer on the scene, but has a lot of experience and skill, no slouch at all. I believe mostly just a randomizer player. Audra has some vanilla experience, lots of ROM hack experience, and one of the most seasoned randomizer runners. So despite the lack of Moonfall, had caught up quite a bit until a little bit of a trouble here in the climb. Notoriously difficult despite its early placement in a speed run or a randomizer run. So we're headed up to BT. It has to give us something that lets us go somewhere. That something could be a super missile, a power bomb, the bombs, the screw attack, the speed booster. I think that's it. But we are going to get something here that's going to let us go somewhere. Supers would confirm area randomization. Speed booster does let us break the bomb blocks here on the left, which will take us towards Terminator and then the Criteria Pirate Shaft. We'll in that room find out what our map state is. If that door that normally goes to Turian is red, it'll be vanilla map. If it's flashing, we'll have area randomization, which we can talk about once we get there. You do see that you want to employ a short charge here. Speedball optional, but it feels cool. So that's how Nitro elected to do this. And some nice super missiles. Definitely something that you are looking to find early on in a seed. There are plenty of green doors, as well as some super blocks that lock some things, and you want to be able to utilize super missiles to break those. And there's a red door. This is vanilla map randomizer.
Oh
Lots
boy.
of people have lots of things to say about specifically full countdown vanilla map. As Adam has joined me back in here, what's going on?
Okay, let's see if I have no static now. If anyone's hearing static, yell very loudly, and I will say that I don't hear any static.
It's better now, yeah. Sounds good to
Alrighty.
me.
So hopefully everybody has their bowl and their spoon for the vanilla that is this map.
That is right. And we're here in Green Brinstar. We've got two majors. One of them is the Plasma Beam. Very nice to find when you have starter charge already in tow. Neither runner ended up going up first to the early supers item itself. Without bomb blocks, we can't look at one item in this room. There were clearly two chances to get something that would show it, but it's also the case that unlikely to be super duper necessary, but power bombs are something we're on the hunt for, as this missile wouldn't have helped them in any way. So I'm gonna have to orphan 3 items down at the Edakuns, as well as Big Pink has several. Well, the charge beam item itself is bomb or power bomb locked, and there's several extraneous rooms which also require bombs, or well, actually they all require power bombs except for one. So we need something pretty quickly. We can get other places as well right now, but we would like to not be so limited.
Well, I have it on good authority that Big Pink might contain a couple of miners that could be power bombs. Or even regular bombs, since this is full countdown, and there are the power bombs right outside of Mission Impossible.
That is right. That's going to let us check the charge beam. It also opens up this right here, Mission Impossible, the wave gates, the spore spawn supers, and also, fun enough, because we do have the speed booster, waterway is available. This is full, so not the value you would see in major minor seeds, but it very well could have major. Seeing a little bit different here. Nitro stays in the room, checks the 3 items in Big Pink proper. First, Audra took one of the extra rooms pretty quickly, found another super. You're going to be happy with that early. With the plasma beam already in hand, we're not going to be super concerned about that in-game damage, but supers, especially this early, you're going to be happy to find. Nitro is being pretty aggressive here if he is in fact not going to turn back.
I wonder if Nitro is going to go through here, go to the meme route and check the item that's back here, because we do know there are 4 majors in Criteria. So, well, 3, because we did pick up the Morph Ball.
That's correct. And this is pretty heads up. Actually, these zeros here in the waterway check do drop power bombs pretty much guaranteed. So 5 power bomb Big Pink, no one's favorite thing. So gonna be a bit of a refill as Nitro gets a different kind of refill. A power bomb pickup there, vanilla at Blueprint. Nice speedball to save a power bomb. And yeah, that's pretty heads up. We are in the location of could have been 2 more there's 2 more majors in Criteria, but yeah, Nitro, like I said, playing this pretty aggressively. I don't necessarily think that a lot of people are going back into Criteria for all of those places, but Green Brinstar, especially if it happens to be over here, Spore Spawn or Wave Gate, could be a very big item. And just an E-Tank in Red Brinstar.
Well, that's an empty area. I guess we're not going to see the X-ray check today.
And this is part of the risk. We did find a reserve. Reserves are counted towards Hull Run logic, as far as, you know, they're the same tanks as an E-Tank will be counted, but they are not included in the countdown. So we know of 3 E-Tanks between Red Brand and Criteria. and we know of a reserve tank. That's 4. That puts pretty much all of the hull runs in logic except for, holy cow, 5. And as I was speaking of hull runs, yeah, E-tanks look pretty good.
Wow, Upper Norfair appears to be stacked with 5 majors and 3 E-tanks.
Yeah, that's gonna make it a little bit nicer to not have, especially the E-tank outstanding in Criteria and Red Brinstar. There's one right there. Audra, like I said, being more thorough here in Green Brinstar. We'll see what is found and what ends up being the other major here, as we've got Ice and Spazer here at High Jump.
And as I was reminded, there's the major in the other major in Green Bryn, or the only major, the Space Jump. Good find for Audra.
Yep, intelligently not picking up the Spazer Beam. We do already have Plasma. If this ends up being suitless, you may want that Spazer, but typically you'll be fine. You have to be a little bit more careful. Plasma, with its piercing property, does to potentially double hit enemies that you want frozen and not dead. So Space Jump, a very, very good item. And there's a prize that's going to be much more difficult for Nitro to pick up. That Various suit chilling there at the Croc Escape. Space Jump makes that trivial. The short charge that you could employ to get that, very, very not trivial, as Audra unfortunately did not jump before these speed blocks. Somewhat standard randomizer feature, these speed blocks do not reform, so no need to spark up, which is in cases like this where you have 72 energy and that's not enough to spark back up, so very useful. So yeah, we're gonna see how this works out. This could be very interesting if Nitro doesn't find grapple. Maybe a double jump, a high jump would also make it easy to get that item, the Various suit. But yeah, interesting start here so far.
Absolutely, it was a good peek of that item, and I did like popping back into Criteria just to check the one item. It could have been one of those other 2 majors. We know suit restrictions are on, so it wouldn't have been a suit in Criteria, but I don't know of a runner that would turn down high jump boots, or I don't know, even like wave beam or grapple beam might not be too bad this early.
Yeah, and Audra is actually going up Red Tower. Like I was saying, you kind of want E-tanks when we haven't found a ton so far, so valuing this one E-tank as well is going to get a little bit more minor items, more likely than not. Possible that we could see another reserve tank, and we're also going to save here, possibly checking the major count at Wreck Ship with this save, and even the boss potentially. So quite divergent routes so far here.
Well, that's, again, as I was saying with the dash randomizer, something that's completely possible. Can go lots of different ways to beat the seed. And I don't know if Audra is necessarily going up to create divergence or just, it's a vanilla map.
Yeah, there's a pretty free item here at the moat, and Space Jump makes it very easy to get over said moat. So we're looking here. That is the other E-tank, which it's a little bit awkward because the save is before that, and you might want that E-tank. It's not going to be very valuable, as we know, as Nitro. Like I said, this is the way to get it, and that pause might have been early. Yeah, you can definitely.
No.
Oh,
he was no energy. He was at 28 energy. He was just about to fall and die anyway.
Right. Yeah. The 3-1 in Wreck Ship. What on earth? Yeah, Audra valuing the potential reset. Not gonna pick up that super missile, but yeah, when you get to 29, your spark stops. So the pause abuse might have saved death, but it doesn't make your spark go any farther. So this is, holy cow. This is quite the seed
Nitro
already, and we know not too much right now, honestly.
Yeah, Nitro taking another go at this. I don't think you can get it if you don't get it that first try.
Does have the
gonna crystal flash.
Yeah, and you get your reserve full, which I'm pretty sure was completely empty for him. So let's see what happens here. A reserve, again, we're not potentially looking to stay here. Chance we can't kill this boss. We do not know what is going on as far as bosses are concerned. So this will be potentially some hint at that, although Vanilla would tell us exactly nothing, as typically goes in these.
But we
Ooh,
are
nice
going to get
speedball.
info. Yeah, it was a very good speedball into the boss area. What do we have here? Dragon?
And I believe that still said wreck ship, so shifted style bosses.
Yeah, either shifted or surprised this seed. Let's go.
Yes. So that's gonna be some pretty nice information. We know that the suit that we're looking for, given that we, the viewers, know where various suit is not in wreck ship. Dragon cannot in any way, shape, or form lock the gravity suit. And like I said, with the space jump intel, Audra is not going to have the issues Nitro has been having here. This short charge is very not easy, and especially if you try to do it right to left, you are in danger of falling off, and then you're not doing anything. So yeah, Chess pointing out the crystal flash early is pretty smart. That gives you much more health, so that even if it takes you a few tries to get this, you will have the health to make it across. And there it is. The jump, probably not the most advisable thing because you're losing more health, but there's various suit for Nitro, as Audra, similar to Nitro, does not want anything here in Red Tower. No item checks.
Yeah, it's only going to be minors, or I believe there's one E in there. But Varia pickup for Nitro, very good. That short charge is quite non-trivial, as we saw.
Yes. We're gonna get the crate info 00. Definitely not gonna be interested in looking at
Not even
that.
going to check the boss.
Yeah, it doesn't really help you in any way, so makes sense. And you saw the 5-3 on your way in, so you're just gonna chill out here in Upper Norfair.
Yeah,
And
there's not much that could be there in there. It could be Kraid, and the only thing that would do is just save you the walk in and walk out for killing the boss. Not worth it.
yep, as one of the remaining E tanks was here at the Cathedral Missile. Nice fill up for Nitro. And the various suit makes that very easy to get. So we're gonna head back to Bubble Mountain. I do not believe we've looked at either of the locations by the ice beam, so those two are not going to be what we're looking at right now. But a little bit slower speed, obviously speeds it up. May or may not have intended that wordplay. You'll never know. But yeah, hopefully Audra also peaks this various suit and quickly goes to get it. There was an infamous league co-op race last season where Audra and her partner were a little bit late to finding that information out. And yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
Down
gonna
for the
peek
lead.
it, and there's the grapple beam as the first item over here by Norfair Reserve.
Yep, that would have also made it quite easy for Nitro to get the various suits, but he did it well enough. A little bit of time lost there, but positionally still ahead of where Audra is at this point, but quite a bit more knowledge on her side. But depending on how things go, that space jump, especially if we're looking at a bootless dive here down to Lower Norfair, could be quite useful.
Yeah, it was a very nice blue gate glitch by Audra. Just first try, zap right through.
Yep. So we're gonna refill our energy here on Audra's side. Nitro looking for one more major. This is one of those places where you've got to be cognizant of what you've seen and what you know about. The major countdown says two, but we know of a spacer that neither runner felt the need to collect. So do not find another major and keep looking if you don't want to. That can be something that wastes time in full countdown. And yeah, here we're gonna see the easy way to come and get this item. Shoutouts to Space Jump and the
Yep,
Super Missile.
absolutely.
Nitro does need to do some catching up on that front 200. It's a pretty good beam. That's a beam I'm pretty comfortable with as far as not doing a ton of minor checks, but it's not the most powerful, of course. Don't know if charge upgrades will double or triple until we find one, if we find one. So ammo's still going to be powerful, as well as, especially for Ridley, no matter what your beam is, supers are the highest damage per second way to damage Ridley. So
That's right, they do double damage against the Space Pelican.
yes.
A little bit of farming for Nitro and some power bombs for Audra.
Yes. Ice Beam showing its worth by making you shoot those bugs twice instead of once. Shoutouts to the Ice Beam.
Well, there is a reason we call it the shoot everything twice beam.
That's right. So to our knowledge, there are 2 items here at the wave beam area, and there are 2 items over by Ice and Crumble Shaft. There's 1 major between those 4, so pretty much 50-50 chance we find it, and we'll see where we decide to go from there. And like I said, I expect a bootless dive that's not going to come because we have gravity suit now. That's go mode for both of our runners. Audra's going to have more equipment, both ammo-wise and especially that space jump, but Nitro's got a decent-sized lead positionally, but space jump shows its worth in 2 places very, very highly. Those places are Lower Norfair and Meridia, and those are the places we're going to be heading next, and Nitro never going to get that space jump. There's absolutely no reason to be going all the way back to Edakuns at this juncture.
No, not at all. Nitro, if looking for any kind of item like that, might run into double jump somewhere, but space jump off the table.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see if execution and better movement items can make up this difference for Audra. Nitro, like I said in Green Bin, was being pretty aggressive. Audra also happened to take some detours for some more information. So those are things that have cost time that you're not really getting back in a seed where you just ran into both suits here in Norfair. Nitro is trying to do the lava spark here without the space jump. The options are gravity jump and lava spark. So lava spark feels better. It looks cooler, but this will get the job done. We've got plenty of health. Vari is very powerful. Although it's vanilla map, so I believe it is only half reduction on environmental, but I also have noticed that it's possible that boss shuffle puts it back to 75. I haven't done a ton of testing and looking. I need to talk to the devs about stuff. But yes, it's also the case that oh, okay, Audra is going to save. It looks like probably gonna look at the cathedral item. I expected to just go to wave beam first. That made a little more sense to me. If we're gonna bootless dive, that is gonna waste quite a bit of time. There is a major here in Lower Norfair that she's probably going to look for. So that's a bit unfortunate. It's routing efficiency. It's better to look at wave beam post Lower Norfair, but if it's just your go mode, you would rather have it now. I'm gonna just state that for a fact. But yeah, to uninterrupt my thought, Nitro needs to get up the next room, and it's either hypo jump or you freeze the enemies, which you have a 200 damage beam and you can wall jump off of them there. It's not super terrible, but you don't really have a strat for this exact loadout and beam damage, so we'll see how this goes. Bootless dive here coming up for Audra. And yeah, it does look like we're trying to freeze that enemy.
And very nice first try, and there's the frozen enemy, but too high.
Well, it's also the case that yeah, the blocks were not gone, so the power bomb kills the blocks, but it also kills the enemy. So we're gonna be looking at a hypo jump here, as Audra did get that nice bootless dive. Gonna be quickly catching up to Nitro, but like I said, extraneous item checks here could cost quite some time, and yeah, Nitro's gonna reset this room. Both of our runners in a little bit less fortunate situation than they could be right now.
Looks like Audra's gonna go,
nice
yeah, just zap, just like the one to Croc. Gonna go check the GT item, possibly grab a refill at the energy refill down here.
Yeah, it will be in her best interest to find whatever major exists here in Lower Norfair with some expediency to get rid of more checks than need to be. As far as our race is concerned, we do not know, what's going to happen. Lower Norfair is the most dangerous place in Zebes. Our runners do have plasma beam. That's pretty nice. Very nice wall jump off that frozen enemy to get up just in time before the enemy was unfrozen. So Nitro is up to the top here of worst room. Gonna kill this enemy. Takes quite a few charge shots, but Nitro's also gonna be looking here at Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, again, 3 energy tanks, 1 major. That could be looking for either or not.
Just wanted to reset the room to say hello to the enemy again for fun, I suppose. That's what we'll say.
Okay. Well, I don't argue with whatever the runners do. They know what they're doing, and they know this game far better than I do.
Yes. Also, it's possible that wanted to check the item and then thought about the fact that with power bombs only, no bombs, no screw attack, as we get a nice short charge there, we're going to do the new route strat to kill these enemies, reduce some lag, make things safer. It's very difficult to get back up. You have to basically crumple jump into wall jump and make sure the shot block isn't reformed. Audra has space jump, so this is pretty trivial. So we are going to see this item. It's just a missile. And yeah, like I said, the shot block comes back at the least opportune time, but we're fine. We've got space jump. And yeah, there's obviously quite a few items that are good to find, would speed you up. High jump, screw attack, you'd be happy with plasma, one of the charge upgrades if there's one or two. Things like that. Obviously Nitro doesn't know about space jump, so quick checks being done by Nitro, although the one of the quicker ones was thought about and not checked is space jump. With speed and no high jump, still a little bit awkward. Audra is being careful. With only the very suit, the damage here is a little bit higher. But yeah. With the gravity suit not being found, the positional lead Nitro has is going to be accentuated a little bit.
Well, as long as Audra checks the wave gate or the wave beam location on the way out of Lorne Warfare, shouldn't be too terrible, given the vanilla map.
Yes.
Or, no, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not out of the way. It's just like I was talking about. You're gonna check more items in here than probably she would have otherwise, and you're also gonna be. These are more dangerous. We have a vanilla Ridley. You're gonna take more damage than Nitro would on hits. And
well, Audra does have quite a few more supers than Nitro.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to mention as a nice Kagos perform. Nitro was in this room and farmed, or in the pre-Ridley farm and did a lot of farming, and still doesn't have just the missile output to kill Ridley, where Audra has more ammo and it's pretty high. We're going to be probably full. We missed the strat, but yeah, 33 supers, going to not have to farm, and knows that it's not vanilla bosses, but knowing that there's a Dragon in Rex ship, smaller chances of Dragon here, and we do have the grapple beam, so no real worries here. And yeah, we're gonna save quite a bit of time here in this Ridley fight, as Nitro had the color change, ready to blast these supers. Nice pogo pattern here.
Yep, and that's Ridley down for Nitro as Audra is beginning the Ridley fight.
Yes. The absolutely heinous cheating method of not using Moonwalk makes this fight a lot easier. I, of course, am joking. And there's a charge upgrade. That's the major. That's going to be good for both of our runners. See if it goes to 4 or 6. It goes to 400, so we do have starter plus. As Ridley is down, like I said, much quicker fight for Audra with enough supers to blast the Space Pelican. Yeah. Don't expect either of our runners to really be doing many more checks here. It's a very nice lower Warfare reward. It's in a convenient spot, and your damage is now doubled. The super lead, a little bit less impactful for Audra, but the supers are still better than our beam on everywhere DPS-wise, so just have to see
that's right.
what happens here as far as the positional lead, the space jump lead, how Audra is feeling post-gravity pickup. And yeah, it's a race to the finish. Our runners are very well equipped here. Nice speedball Nitro.
Yeah, as chat's pointing out, space not quite as important with speed, but full halfies are not free, and well, neither are womple jumps, right?
Yeah, full halfie you need high jump, and maybe Task could get away without it, but no humans as far as I'm aware, so definitely going to be a faster Coliseum unless we happen to find high jump at pretty much exactly Botswan E-Tank. I don't expect us to look at any West Meridia or East Meridia items other than that and possibly Precious. So, yeah. Audra does need to be a bit careful. Energy's a bit low. Plasma does allow you to hitbox these key hunters, but E-Tank would be nice here. We have found one of them. Or, no, it was just two, I think. Did I mark this? I didn't mark it.
We found one. It was at the Power
yeah.
Bombs of Shame location.
Yeah, I thought it was 1-3. But yeah, going in here, there is a manipulation you can do here. That's not what I'm used to, but yeah, just wanted to get the enemy up there. And yeah, dodged all three. That's nice. One more key hunter to look at. So yeah, Nitro back in Upper Norfair. Gonna use some pseudo screws to hopefully dodge some hits. Unfortunately, took that flame hit, but dodge that one. And we're gonna be good. Just need to be careful in the key Three Musketeers room. This missile here at Hodo Ruby will not be of any help. And just barely missed the grab. Ooh. That is okay, yeah.
Might
Yeah,
check
you're
the
gonna
item
look-
over here to see if it's one of the other E-tanks. We've seen a lot of the items. It's just supers.
Yep. He's going to grab them. So, yeah, Nitro's lead has gotten even bigger, and we do still need to go to the wave beam to collect a gravity suit. So this is probably a couple of minutes that Audra's gonna have to try and claw back here. As with
Ooh,
only
that
one
was
reserve.
good dodging.
Yeah, with only one reserve, no matter how full it is, you are in Oko territory because of how iframes work. Well, no, if it's very low, you are actually fine because the iframes won't run out and you won't get double hit, but you need to still be careful. Very nice dodges there. We do get a missile here at Kraid Missile. Here comes the gravity suit pickup for Audra.
All right, let's see how much Nitro farms up before going into the Kraid boss location. Having seen Ridley in Lower Norfair with no other boss information, it would be very low possibility of it being another Ridley.
Yes. Was a little bit safe. Did stick around for the final super drop on the first pass through, and then went back for more. With the low likelihood of Ridley, obviously we have Dragon, which can be killed quickly with the grapple beam. Kraid, which you need 4 supers for in a lot of cases, or 3 depending on your quick kill of choice. In Phantom, you don't need any supers, so it was definitely a err on the side of caution farm there at the mini Kraid. And no X-ray, so we are just going to be charge shotting, or probably just the standard Doppler fare here on Phantom.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see any Nintendo Power strats out of pretty much anyone in this tournament, I would think.
Yes.
That was a good air Doppler by Nitro.
Ooh, and a nice fast, and quickly gets that super in there. No movement needed. That's very nicely done.
I expect Audra will probably pop up to the Kraid refill up here. I don't know how much farming she'll do.
Yes, we will indeed see. Health is... Well, you could hedge really, really hard on it not being surprised, and you've seen Dragon and the other 2 bosses don't really require a ton of health. It's risky, but with both suits, Phantom isn't really... Yeah, this is what I expected, especially with knowing that you could have just had gravity beforehand. You're not feeling good about
this is a gravity suits location feels bad, man.
Yes, indeed. So I'm gonna look at this 2 break time here. It's gonna be right around 32:50. I don't know exactly what the time's gonna be when Audra also breaks a 2. Let's go 32:55. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the order of about 2 minutes. And Space Jump is really good. I don't know if it's that good. See if Nitro does many checks here. One major here in West Meridia. Did want to spark to this and got a missile out of it. Not the greatest reward.
Not at all, but I do agree with if you're going to scout that item and possibly pick it up, just spark into it. It's roughly time neutral, I believe.
Probably, at least. Going up there, and especially if you don't have any jumping apparatus like Nitro doesn't, going up there takes quite a bit. And then you have to fall down to either the bottom or the other ledge to spark. So, yeah. If you want to pick up the item, especially, it's a lot better. And one major as well in the East Meridia. As well as 3 energy tanks, one of which was just picked up.
Oh,
Two
two energy
there.
tanks right there in Aqueduct.
If Audra can have the health and decide to check those, that would be pretty nice. You do not want to be running around at this low health for super long, as it's always awkward when you have gravity trying to do this in a good way. You end up doing that, or at least I end up doing that somewhat frequently. You just fall to the bottom, but Space Jump making it pretty easy, and yeah, Audra's on the hunt.
And looking at the time that Audra entered West Meridia, it's about a 1.5 minute difference.
Yeah, and gonna save some time with not sparking up to that missile. And don't spark, I don't think. Yeah, your health. You just want to space jump this. Had second thoughts. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got the muscle memory spark, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute.
So, power bomb there at the Botswana E-Tank. Like I said, one of the few items I expect us to even look at. Probably also look at Precious. It's very, very low cost.
Yeah, anytime you can see something without a door transition, it's not bad to take a look if you don't, if you can, without things, English words hard.
Yeah. Good pattern here for Batsun. Missed one of the supers early on, but that's a nice reappear. Gonna be a nice solid 2-round. Do we have a major here? No, we have a reserve tank. We are definitely not gonna collect that. And this is most likely the Kraid boss here, but we'll see if we did end up with a surprise. Yep, it's Kraid.
No, it's Kraid.
One of each in our seed today, and we are... It is definitely getting closer. Like we said, Space Jump, it really shows its worth here in Meridia and Lower Norfair. So, nice quick kill. Pretty much everything that both runners do here on is very crucial to the endpoint of this race. Need to see some good movement, some good execution, and...
Yep, we see a high five right here out of the boss room. Audra is still a little low on health, but for Kraid, the health doesn't matter so much.
Yep. Biggest place we're going to be looking at health is the Dragon boss that Audra will know is coming, and Nitro will very much suspect is coming. The grapple kill does not take very much energy when you have both suits here in the dash randomizer, but you don't want it to be draining all of it. And then we'll have to see what our runners feel about ship refills, especially because of the high super count that Audra has. Those are some pretty valuable supers as far as DPS. Nitro probably a little bit less likely to take it, but if his health is pretty high, it's pretty quickly gonna be filled up. Audra's health is likely going to be much lower, but also much lower max health. So
yeah, let's see if do you think either one of them will exit through a sandpit?
Absolutely not. That is very not worth it here. You have to go much farther to get out of Meridia if you go down a sandpit versus the way Nitro's going. Gonna see how he elects to get out of this room. Could grapple across the so-called new route jump. He's gonna spark. I don't know if that's super advisable, but he knows what he's doing with the grapple beam.
That was a good save with that grapple.
Yes, unfortunately, as there's the door open. Yeah, this is time that he does not want to be spending. Like I said, Audra's on the hunt, and this is not going to be a difficult room. We're going to be extremely close already here. And we're gravity jumping here instead of using the grapple beam. Yeah, Audra's going to be in the lead here rather quickly, I expect, by the time we enter the wreck ship, given West Ocean.
Yeah, we're in the same room right now. Almost frame for frame.
What an absolutely beautiful race. And Nitro farming there, Audra not. knows exactly what's coming up here. That was a bit of an unfortunate super Kago, but oh yeah, we're gonna farm that one back. I said Kago, I meant Kojakt. Shoutouts to Kojakt. But yes, holy cow, we are both on this elevator. We are both in a somewhat similar ammo spot, but this is Dragon and your ammo isn't super relevant. Audra already
Nope.
prepped with the power bomb. Nitro is getting there. And yeah, probably you're gonna see grapple versus space jump again.
Audra might cook up this E-tank. Yeah, that's what I
Oh
thought for
yeah.
the health refill.
So we're gonna spark here. It's fast, but the crash animation definitely makes it worse than space jumping. That's always the kicker when you have the speed booster. Sparking, it's very fast and it feels good, but that crash animation is quite a few frames. This is Dragon. Audra scouted this early, smelling.
Yeah, so we do have one interesting
Oh,
thing. Nitro's
and
going left here, gonna
oh,
check Spooky.
yeah, and Audra already knows that this is a reserve tank, the worst thing it could be. So yeah, that's gonna be positional lead turned over to Audra for the first time in this race since probably extremely. Actually, I don't know if she's ever had a positional race given the moonfall advantage.
No,
So
she's been behind ever since not checking Wave Beam. I think that was a big thing going into Lorne Warfare without gravity, and just clawed it back with Space Jump. Also did go down and check Edikuns for Space Jump.
all right, yeah, more thorough in Green Brinstar. Got a lot of this information early. Got the gravity suit late, but people talk about you know, your ability to do things, the power of certain items. Space jump, the earlier you have it, man, it is just so powerful. And I don't think there's a room where it's not useful. Like, I'm sure there is, but it's like a single digit number in this extremely large game is better RNG. Insult to injury here for Nitro.
Yeah, a lot of swoops for Nitro, but there's the goop cycle. And I wonder if Audra looks like she's setting up to grab the drops. No, just going away.
I think realizing that wanting a ship save, it's going to be a pretty minimal time save for whatever drops are picked up.
Yeah,
So,
definitely going to do a refill of the ship. That's one of the big bosses of Vanilla, is fighting that little bit of muscle memory about having that refill on the elevator down into Torian.
yeah. And like we said, the supers, especially with how many she has, very useful. You're going to be able to blast through the Metroid rooms with kind of no regard and then be able to have a lot of supers, as Nitro has been doing some of these checks in Wreck Ship to some of chat's dismay. Super Missile is a nice pickup, but two-hour transitions into fanfare. With this beam loadout, and you know how fast this seed was. You even played it pretty much as fast as you could have. You know the runner that you're up against. It can be difficult to surmise exactly what is and isn't worth, and how much time you have to do certain things. As we're going to spark back across West Ocean, as you can see, the ship refill already done. Not a lot Nitro can do from here.
So it's all execution all the way down, it looks like. We can probably get a time difference when we get to the Torian elevator.
Yep, and I don't recall if Nitro also shot out the door. I know Audra did. That's one of the things I like to do. Use the super early, and then later on, your ammo is what you know. And yeah, this makes more sense for Nitro. Not nearly as much ammo and 11 current supers. Skipping that ship refill, that's, in my opinion, the smarter play. And missed that short charge.
It's just little things here and there, all the way down. All right, Audra on the elevator at 4236.
Yep. And yep, this door was still red, so one fewer super than he potentially could have had. So it's gonna be somewhere between like 24, 25 seconds.
25.
Yep, and like I said, Audra can blast through these rooms with pretty much no regard. For Nitro, you want basically this many supers leaving. You could definitely deal with a few less, but you do need them for doors and Mother Brain 1. So
yeah, Are the supers still better DPS than the beam at this point? I think they might be.
Oh yeah, so full beam 900 damage is equal DPS to supers. So anything less than that, supers are going to be better. So and
Oh,
yeah,
Nitro
ooh,
getting grabbed by
unfortunate
the
grab.
Metroids in room 2.
Yeah, no bombs. So this is our only option, and it's insult to injury because not only is the room slower, but you get 3 drops versus I think they drop 5 or 6 each depending on if you wait. So 1/5 the drops in a situation where you're. I mean, he's missling, which is a little unnecessary, but you do need an amount of ammo here in Turian. And no baby skip coming from Audra. No
Yep.
surprise without high jump.
No high jump boots. Baby skip very, very tough, correct?
Correct. There are
And,
methods that you can use, but not going to be shown off in
well,
this race.
also, even if Audra went for it, no wave beam, so extra not fun.
Correct. Yeah, Nitro going to be using this charge beam to make the damage down a bit better. Also going to be skipping the baby skip. Everyone's favorite trick.
Everybody loves baby skip skip.
And waste the frames
Oh,
by
and
staying facing
facing
left.
left? What?
The shambles have been coming in they're multiplying at this point, but like you said, Audra was already on the hunt with that space shop advantage and some extra checks, some extra ammo on Audra's side. All those things are going to add up. If we can get this ice skip.
Oh, staying in the room, not resetting it? Okay. Can work.
It's
Just gotta
definitely
get through here.
possible. Yeah, I think we're probably going to go now. It's getting dangerous as far as health, and obviously you're not feeling good. There we are through the Zeb.
Wow, that was a bit longer than I expected to see. Most of the time, I would expect to see a runner leave the room and just take the door transitions to reset it, but Audra, champ, just goes for it.
Yep. Especially without wave, I always reset the room. And Nitro showing the first try Zeb skip there. If you are curious why they're going down there, without wave, you can't shoot through walls, so you either have to crouch and shoot or charge and shoot with other beam combinations. And especially, Plasma has a tendency to skip like a few of the early pixels when you shoot vertically, so probably crouching your best bet, but I do think charging still works. But in either case, we are here in Mother Brain 2. Audra has shot all of her ammo down to charge shots, 400. Like I said, it's pretty nice. It's better than you would have in New Route. So nothing to sneeze at here. Mother Brain will be down pretty quickly. Nitro has the same beam damage, but quite a bit less ammo. So once again, going to be some time saved here by Audra.
Yeah, time saved in this game, and we are not able to speak, but that's okay. We are running out of game. That's what I'm trying to say.
We are indeed running out of game. No catch-up hits taken. Down to 300 XX energy. We're going to take this rainbow beam and sit here and hope that a dot done doesn't come in while we're sitting here. Audra definitely worried about the gravity suit ordering.
And Kip asking a question in chat: what beam combo you need for regular missiles to lose DPS? Yeah, I'm not going to know the answer to that.
Plasma, because in theory it should be 600 DPS. Yeah, Derp is confirming what I'm thinking. So 600 is Charge Ice Plasma, which is the third most powerful beam. So either full beam or Charge Wave Plasma are more than that. But yes, Baby has appeared on the screen for both runners. About half of this cutscene ahead for Audra, but very, very little game left, as you have been saying. We're going to be looking at close to a 50 for both of our runners, which is a very nice time. So Baby touches Samus at about 4820. We'll see how that appears. On Nitro's side, but we've got a hyper beam to the face of the third phase of Mother Brain. Words go
Oh no,
hard.
my English shambles are translating to you, DJ.
So it's gonna be about 25 seconds. Looks like here, a little bit more, 28-ish, and that's a nicely done Mother
Yeah.
Brain 3 fight without the high jump boots. You stand in a different position and you shoot at different timings, but no troubles here. Nitro also in a good position. You're not seeing Mother Brain have any ability to get off many attacks. There's one little onion ring, but that could be it here. Missed a
Oh,
shot.
lost it a
That
little bit.
commentator cursed it.
All right, MB3 down for Nitro. Audra on her way in the escape.
Yep. We're going to have a pretty standard escape. No high jump is a little bit awkward in a few rooms, but the important rooms you get to spark, this is one of them. The climb is the other. And as long as you utilize space jump, iframes, and the hyper beam effectively in this room, won't have too much trouble. This looks like this looks like one of my Leodox rooms. No moonfall, but I miss that occasionally. And yeah, we're gonna be a really tight finish. Nitro really not gonna feel good about how this in-game went for him as far as the extra checks that didn't really pan out to anything, given how close this was going to be. But a very, very well executed comeback, and the power of space jump shown off once again. Probably not the first time in this randomizer tournament, and probably not the last as well.
Probably not, as Audra is in parlor on the surface approaching the ship. Everybody, let's get our GGs ready for Audra, who is on the ship with an official racetime.gg time of 50 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yes, absolutely.
Nitro following behind.
Speed for both of our runners, and yes, Nitro gonna do the final 2 rooms of escape and finish this one out. We're gonna step on the ship here with an official race time of 50 minutes and 50 seconds. 22 seconds is probably top 5 closest finishes. We have had a 1-second finish and a 5-second finish already thus far, so this is baby food compared to some of those, but we have been witness to quite the race. And joining us in the commentary booth is our winner, Audra. I'm sure you had some feelings about how that race could have gone for you, but GG's.
GG's.
She will turn on her microphone quickly, I'm sure, or potentially wait for Nitro, who is very welcome to join us and hopefully does here quickly. Although I would not blame him. If I lost by this amount, I would maybe not want to talk. Yes, we can hear you.
Figured out why that wasn't working. Yeah, okay, so I forgot how to play vanilla map. It just hasn't rolled in any of my practices, and like the smart thing to do would be to like roll vanilla map on purpose, but I've been lazy, so.
Vanilla map and area are borderline 2 different games at this point. So yeah,
like I think like you're like slightly favored for exit play to be okay and to give you information, but it's pretty bad when you can't kill the boss there, and then it's also pretty bad when you go down and it's just like UN5. I felt pretty good about seeing Wreckship 3 because I'm just like, okay, well, even if I can't kill this, seems like maybe it would be a good play to like know to come back here if it's like either I get the suit to kill the boss here or it's shuffled Phantoon. But that info just didn't pay out at all, and then gravity being the thing I skipped in upper Norfair. Like, I was a good lower Norfair, I was very happy with it, and I figured I was the only one that had space jump, honestly, because I figured Nitro would probably not hunt that major, but it's just like, I knew I probably lost time to getting space jump. I was gonna make it back, hopefully, but knew I lost time to going to Wreckship, and then knew I probably lost time missing gravity, so I wasn't expecting to. I was expecting to lose by like a minute, probably.
Uh-huh. It was a very tight race. I'm sure you were looking. Probably some of the end there was some little bit of unfortunate things, some extra checks in quite a few places. A couple of E-tanks in East Meridia, the Main Street missile was sparked too. Some wreck ship checks. You had scouted a few of them early, and then ended up going back. And yeah, Space Jump, it's good. We all know that. So
It's yeah, it was really nice. It helped so much, like I don't know, everywhere, especially without high jump. High jump was at Crane and Radio, so
yeah,
could have had that, but it wasn't gonna help enough at that point. I was
yeah,
even
and
thinking about looking for it at left side super, but it doesn't save enough time from that point for like the chance that you get a major at that spot when it's high jump. So
yeah. Also, one East Meridia, and there's what 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's
one
11
East
checks, and
Meridia.
some of them
Oh,
suck.
wait, that was the one East Meridia. Was high jump at Crade? I didn't that didn't
Yeah,
click in my mind, but
yeah. Lots of places that can be, most of which, especially in Go mode, you're never ever looking. So yeah, it was something. Yeah, Nitro played very aggressive early, and yeah, Space Jump we were talking about. Two biggest places. Nitro had trouble without the Space Jump. Getting the various suit, I think he reset twice before finally getting the short charge. And worst room in the
oh
game.
yeah, it's
Uh,
crazy actually.
had to
Space
reset the
jump.
room. So yeah, that's
I just like Space Jump, I feel like it just let me turn on the jets and not really worry about too much. Like everything was pretty easy. I've been executing really, really well the last couple of weeks. It's just the routing has not been great.
yeah. But you do dethrone a 3-0 runner, knocking him down to the one loss bracket. You're gonna stay there with several heavy hitters. I noted after week 3 that the top 4 seeds, one of which is you, were all in the one loss bracket, and so far it's staying that way. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
I felt a
dogfight
little
here on
better
out.
about noticing that. It's like a little bit less embarrassing. Oh, everyone good is losing. Okay, that's fine.
Yes, the
It
randomizer
is a mystery
scene.
after all. I suppose it's pretty new. I did mention before there's some things about this that are hard to practice. Like I mentioned, I should have rolled like a vanilla map seed, um, but like right now I don't think you can roll. Um, what is it? You can't roll like the mystery boss setting. Like you have to pick one, I think.
Yeah,
So, like knowing your type of boss shuffle beforehand, just changes how you play it. So it's hard to practice things in isolation like that. Like
yes.
mystery as a whole should be played differently than if you know it's shifted or you know it's shuffled or whatever.
Yep. I've talked to the dev team. There is plans to get some optionality to choose some settings and randomize the others. We do not know when that will be available, but obviously all of the devs are putting in a lot of work, and I also think all of them except for Cassidy are competing, so lots of, work going on in both directions for all of our devs. So,
It's tough to like put that change in like a tournament timeline as well because it's like it's affecting everybody from the moment that you happen to be available to do it. So,
yep.
um,
I feel like I've been hogging the interview. Do you have any questions, Adam?
It's okay, DJ. I've just been listening in, and I think all of my questions were actually answered. I figured that once you saw gravity at wave, Audra, that was gonna make you feel kind of bad and just put you in sort of skip everything possible and go go go.
yeah, I mean that's what you should do anyways from that point. Which obviously made me feel bad because now I checked way too much stuff in Lower North here. Actually, like I even checked Screw Attack because I wanted the refill, and it was like, okay, well, like maybe that one thing is gravity, who knows? And I doubled back for Mickey Mouse because I was a bit scared to leave it. Like seeing one LN after what's it called? 5 UN, like only 1 in LN. I was kind of, should have expected, but it still felt bad knowing there were 2 majors in Upper Norfair, and that I was like doing extra stuff in Lower Norfair for probably nothing.
Well, I think
there's
that...
one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
There's one thing I wanted to say to JX in particular, and that's that I felt bad because I didn't do the math in time for leaving my last missile. I know you always comment on that.
I usually do, yes, because it's super awesome to see that you don't spend that one extra missile, and it's what, 10 frames, I think.
Well, I did this time, and I realized after 29 supers, it's an odd number of hundreds of damage, so I should have left that one missile. Would have been 3 actually. So 9300, 8700. How many missiles do I have? Oh, I have to remember how many missiles or 1800, 8700, 6900. Oh, nice. So
in theory, you might have wasted 3.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No. It's leaving 1 would have been correct.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if it was 1 or 3. I was suddenly really curious.
Well, I appreciate that because it's just a neat thing to see, because it just shows the amount of effort that's going into figuring out everything that's happening with this game, and just like the mental fortitude required to get through, and just little optimizations like that can make a difference between being 4-0, being 3-1, not being in the tournament because you can't do a mock ball. Wait, no, that's me. Never mind.
It helps if you've played the game in the last 30 years.
It actually does. Now, I do plan on at least attempting that at some point. And while I'm thinking about it, because Jestro put all the links in chat. My God, my English has been terrible with this race. Follow these runners if you're not following them already. They deserve a follow. It's one of the easiest things you can do. Doesn't cost you any money. Shows great support for the runners. Follow Jestro, our tracker, MVP of the tournament. All trackers MVPs. Without trackers, we don't get restreamed. And follow DJ, because DJ's up here making sure that I'm not saying anything incorrect, or if I do say something incorrect, quick to be like, no, Adam, that's just wrong.
I do know he probably says no, Adam, a lot, but
yeah, it's
the first step to being right is being wrong, because then you'll get corrected, especially on the internet.
Well, isn't that so I believe that's how the joke goes. The way to get the correct answer on the internet is just to post something that you know is absolutely wrong, and somebody will correct you really quick.
Yes, I appreciate being joined by Adam once again. Sorry, you go, Audra.
Tends to bait me pretty good.
Yes, so I'll give a quick shout out to what we have upcoming. 3/4 races tomorrow. We start at 5:30 p.m. with Beep to the Boop versus Leslie. We also got Zeb versus Kupo, Sal Monster versus Cross Product, and a nightcap of Vibrant Colors versus Lomian Jones. There are some races scheduled Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even one on Monday. I think we still have possibly a few to get on the schedule, so stay tuned to that. The SpeedGaming family of networks is your home for this tournament. We are very appreciative to all of the people who volunteer for SpeedGaming and help us put these on, including the restreamers, the setup helpers, which Jestro has also been doubling as, and just, in general, cultivating this community to showcase some high-level speedrunning and randomizer action. I think that's going to be all from us on this Wednesday evening. Hopefully we'll see you again soon in the Super Metroid Randomizer Mystery Tournament, and until then, see you next mission.
See everyone next mission. Have a great evening.